Hi guys, it's Uncle Scott again. I'm here with another story, and this one's a little bit longer, maybe more of a bedtime or nap time story from a kind of great storybook that tries to explain things that we're used to, but we wonder where they came from. This is called Loawnu Mends the Sky, and it's a story from China. A long time ago, the world was new. It had just been made. And do you know, they still hadn't gotten some things in the world exactly right. And one of the things they hadn't gotten right was the sky. Let me tell you what happened. One sunny day in China, some children went out to play. They were running around in their favorite field when suddenly, plop, a flat blue thing with raggedy edges fell just near them. Over there, plop, and here, plop, and then plop, plop, plop. Things were falling all over their field and in the fields around. What do you think they were? The children looked up. Oh, how terrible! Pieces of the sky were falling down and leaving behind great big holes. You could see right inside the sky. Out of the holes oozed thick black clouds, spreading like ink in water, and turning the sky from blue to black. "What shall we do?" they asked each other. Well, in those days, if you had a problem, you went to see the local wise woman. And in this village, her name was Loawnu. So they ran up the hill to her house, and they rushed through the door, shouting, "Loawnu, what are we going to do? The sky's falling down." "Well now," said Loawnu, "why don't you try to find all the pieces of the sky that have fallen down, and then I can mend it?" What a good idea! Off they went and picked up all the pieces that were lying on the ground, but they couldn't see any more. Can you think of any places where those pieces might be hiding? Yes, they found some down a well, one stuck in a bamboo tree, and another on the roof of a house. So these friends gathered all the pieces they could find, there were lots of them, and carried them up the hill to Loawnu, and she began to count them. It took a long time. Then she went outside and counted the holes in the sky where the bits had fallen out. At the end, she said, "I'm afraid there are still some pieces missing. Maybe they sank to the bottom of the sea where we'll never find them. I'll put all the pieces you found back into the sky, but we'll need something else to fill in the gaps." "Why?" asked the children. "Will the gaps matter?" "Have you ever had a jigsaw puzzle," began Loawnu, "with a piece missing? You know how it never works without that piece. It's the same with the sky. We'll have to fill in the holes somehow." "Ah, but listen, I've had a wonderful idea. Just look at all these colored stones on the ground." The children looked around at them. "That's what we'll use. I can put some red ones in this part of the sky, and then look, I'll use a ring of those purple ones, and maybe I can have some green dots and an orange stripe over there. Won't the sky look pretty?" But the children's faces had fallen. They wanted a blue sky. "We don't like all those bright colors. The sky's always been blue all day and black all night," they wailed. Loawnu looked thoughtful for a minute. And then she said, "All right, I promise you this. When you wake up tomorrow morning, the sky will be as blue as it always was. Now leave it to me." So the children went home, and Loawnu built a tall ladder and mended the sky. The next morning, as soon as the children awoke, they ran out and looked up at the sky. There it was, blue as blue. They couldn't see any holes. They couldn't see any gaps. One little boy went up to Loawnu. "You're so clever," he said. "I think you used blue cloth and stitched it over the holes. Did you? Did you?" Loawnu smiled, but she said nothing. How do you think she'd done it? Well, she wouldn't tell them, and they didn't really mind, because the sky was blue again. But do you know what happened that night? The smallest girl in the village couldn't sleep because it was too hot. So she went outside for some air, and when she opened the door, she couldn't believe her eyes. She could see what Loawnu had used to fill up the holes in the sky. And if you go out at night, you'll see too. Now I told you the world was still new, and until then the sky had always been plain blue in the day and plain black at night. But it wasn't plain black that night. Oh no! The little girl shouted as loudly as she could, and the whole village came running. Their mouths fell open with amazement. What do you think they saw? Stars! There they were, silver and shining. Loawnu had put one in each of the holes in the sky. Aha! That's why she told us to come in the morning, and the sky would look the same as ever, said one little boy. It's true, you can't see stars in the daytime, can you? And she didn't say the sky would look the same at night. Nobody had ever seen stars before, and so they stood and watched them twinkling and glittering. Some people stayed there all night, and the more they watched, the more they liked them. Everybody agreed the night seemed friendlier now that there were stars. So that is how Loawnu mended the sky. And I hope you enjoyed the story. Love you guys. I'll be back again in a few days with another fun story for you. Bye-bye.